Hello everybody, this is Paul again from VirginiaRealEstate.com and this YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what's called a comparative market analysis, and it's a very, very important part of selling a home or any kind of property. And a lot of people don't understand it because what they do a lot of times, and they'll look at Zillow or someplace like that, and they'll see some homes out there in their neighborhood, and they'll look at those prices that someone is asking, and asking isn't a sale price, by the way, but an asking price, that they'll just say, well, my house has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths and, half-acre lot and so on. So it's only a mile or two away from that house over there. So my house has got to be worth that too. And that's unfortunately not accurate at all, and it can lead to some real problems if people try to sell on their own, because what they'll do is they'll put the price that doesn't relate to what a buyer is likely to buy in today's market within the next few months of when you list a house. So what a realtor can do, a real estate professional, is to look at the home, and they'll do what they call a comparative market analysis, and that will help determine more likely selling price of your home. And it's a fairly complicated process because what we'll do is we'll look at all the sales that have happened in a recent time, let's say 6 months, or even better, a 3-month period. What's sold in the neighborhood in the last 3 months? Because things can change dramatically in just 3 months in a marketplace. So what we want to do is it's not just say, well, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 2-story or something. We want to find out that maybe your home has some extra features that other homes don't have, and maybe that even just a mile away can be a very different kind of neighborhood. Like, for example, a home might have like a train that goes by right behind the property or something like that. So there's a lot of things like that that have to a realtor has to consider when they decide to evaluate your home and what is a likely price. Now, naturally, a realtor doesn't want to set the price too low because it might sound good. Hey, I can sell it fast if I sell too low, but I'm not going to get that's not the customer's desire. They want to get a higher price. So what we have to do as a professional is to look very, very carefully. We look at square footage in a property. We look at recent sales. And there are times when, for example, there's areas that I had a house listed, for example, and there was an area that was very unusual. It was a very, very good house, very solid house, but it was not too far from a major highway, but they had a tree barrier, but they also had the town that was in really wasn't much of a town. It didn't really have a center. There wasn't any stores. It was just an area where there's some tourist attractions, and it wasn't really much of a town. But the final buyer didn't care about all that. Their kids are grown up, and they just the guy was a truck driver, and he wanted to live near the highway, and it was a nice wide driveway, and his wife could go to her job very quickly from them. So every property has to be evaluated very carefully. Now, some kinds of properties will sell there's just some suburbs, for example, in a large city, they just have sale after sale. There might be corporate transfers and people moving in and out or whatever, and they sell standard kind of houses, okay, in some developments. But then when you get into the country like where I live, every single house is so different. And some of them are very old, and they've been in the land for a long time, and there might be other structures on the property and so on. So when it comes down to evaluating what your home is worth, work with your professional and tell them all about, like, for example, if your home was constructed with custom extra strength beams or something like that, or you have a 3-car garage and maybe you have a pool or something like that, or you have some feature on your land that you say, hey, this is really valuable. Well, for example, a swimming pool, some people, they just don't want to touch anything with a swimming pool because it requires a lot of liability and upkeep and so on. So they don't want a pool, even though you might have loved it for 20 years, you see. So there are things that you want to consider, and that's why you work with a professional. So I offer my services to anyone. If you want to sell your house, even if you're going to sell it on your own, I welcome. Go give it a try. Typically, some people are happy with that and they are successful, but most of them are not. So I offer people, I'll come to your home and I'll take a look at all the different features and I'll look at what's on the market right now and give you my professional opinion in the ballpark range of what a home I think will sell for and what a strategy would be to what I would price it as to start with and what I would say would be like, okay, that's the bottom. And again, I offer my services, and I don't expect people to list with me if I give them a comparative market analysis, but I do like to make connection with people, and this part of my industry and the benefit of my job is to help people sell and move their home and go on to the new life that they plan for themselves. So thanks again for listening, and I'll see you in one of the other segments. Please like and share, and if you'd like to contact me in any way, the email is here on the site and also my phone number. So thanks again.